Hello, this is my Crazy Ex channel. Please subscribe.
How to break up with someone that loves you and hasn't done anything wrong. I've cheated and I can't go on with this relationship. Story 1-2. It's a long story, and I'll try to make it short. Me and my ex first met when we were both in high school. He was my first boyfriend. My family absolutely hates him because they were extremely overprotective about me, hated the idea of me having a boyfriend, and adding that to that fact that I got pregnant, so they forced me to have an abortion. And being 16, still dependent on my parents, I didn't have much of a choice. Afterwards, our parents did everything they could to make us break up, and in the end we finally broke up because he went to college in Germany. We are from the US, his family is German, I went to college in another state, and even when we went back home to visit our families, we were never in our hometown at the same time. Recently we ended up meeting again after 16 years apart, and now I feel exactly the same way as I felt years ago. I'm absolutely still in love with him. He is currently 33 years old, has 6-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. His ex-wife has passed away years ago in a car accident. I'm 32, I'm engaged to someone else, and I'm 5 months pregnant. We had already met twice without my fiancé's acknowledge. We just had coffee, talked about life, and that's all, and maybe it already counts as cheating. But until this moment I hadn't officially cheated. My ex asked if I'm happy with my fiancé, if I really want to marry him, how he treats me, and said that in case I want to break up, we could still be together. I like my fiancé, he's a nice guy and he's never done anything wrong. I know it's not fair to him, and it makes me feel terrible. But I have always been crazy about my ex, and if I've been thinking more about my ex than my fiancé, I believe this is a huge sign that there's something wrong. So, this weekend I've finally made my decision, and now I can say that I've officially cheated. I slept with my ex. Now I'm thinking how I'm going to tell all of this to my fiancé and break up with him because he doesn't know any of this, and I feel so sorry of how things turned out to be. I don't want to hurt him, as if it was possible. But my question is, how do you break up with someone under this circumstances? He hasn't done anything wrong to deserve being in this situation. I know he likes me a lot, and I feel awful. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, you're not a nice person. Redditor 2, you already hurt M. Tell him the truth exactly as it is and watch as he suffers and fails and writhes in the pain and heartbreak and the death of the life he thought he was going to have. When he finally stops suffering months from now and he regains his footing, he'll have the answers. He won't sit awake at night wondering what went wrong, where are the missing pieces, why did you do this and how did he fail? He will be able to think she cheated on me because she's a bad person, devoid of integrity and with plenty of issues. Be brutally honest with him now and don't try to water things down to ease his suffering or dress it up to calm him down in the moment. Tell him who you truly are and why you're doing this, and later on down the line he'll be able to move on faster because he won't be hung up on the what ifs. Also, you're sorry, he'll be sad and hurt. If you were truly sorry you wouldn't further pursue the other guy. Don't delude yourself, this is unequivocally wrong. Redditor 3, wow. That poor man. Tell him everything and move out. Redditor 4, this made me sick. Redditor 5, you're a piece of garbage. Redditor 6, damn, that's bad. Tell him and let him not live a dream that was never truly his. He's happy about his kid probably, and you hurt his heart in the worst way. I'd cry, but the fact you're pregnant with another man's baby and still cheated sickens me so bad. What are you? Human? Demon? Redditor 7, you should have broken up with your fiancé before sleeping with some other guy. I'm truly sorry for your fiancé, he deserves better. You, on the other hand, should tell him what you have done ASAP and get the hell out of his life. Biggest problem here is the baby. Redditor 8, poor baby, poor baby. You've screwed his life with your selfishness. Redditor 9, Google how to communicate infidelity. Keep it short. Hope he does not hang himself. Redditor 10, wow, you couldn't just break it off with your fiancé before you cheat on him. Real classy. Plus you're pregnant, is it you fiancé's baby, your affair partner's baby, or do you even know who the baby's father is? You do know that most people place cheaters on the social ladder right next to child molesters that take advantage of innocent children. I can see you're so broken up about cheating on your fiancé, but you need to tell him the truth. Don't you think he's going to wonder about you every time he picks up the child for his 50% custody? But hey, you don't care, cheaters gotta cheat. Story 2-2. I am 30 am almost cheating on my wife F29 the same way my wife cheated on me. Okay, throw away since people I know use Reddit. TLDR at the bottom. So a little backstory here. I am 30, have been with my wife F30 for almost 12 years, married for almost 4. My wife cheated on me with one of her ex-boyfriends from high school 2 years ago. And this was not just a one-night thing. This was going on for at least 9 months that I know of, probably could have been longer, who knows, she won't talk about it much. I first found out oddly enough around this same time. I found handwritten notes from him. Then on a night we got pretty drunk, I decided I was going to check her phone. Sure enough, tons of nudes and videos sent back and forth in chat apps. Snapchat. They haven't missed talking with each other for months and have a higher level than her and myself. I got livid. I woke her up to explain herself about it and gave me the whole, "You never pay attention to me, I love you more blah blah." I slept on the couch because I could not even look at her anymore. She claims they were never physical and it was only in the texts and Snapchat. She claims she blocked him on everything, and I just said I need time to think about it, to figure out what I'm going to do. At this point we were getting to 10 years being together. Do I want to throw all this away or work on it? After a week she still was being her same self and now even more protective of her phone. Because we used to be the couple where we could toss each other a phone, type in the password and look up whatever or take a picture. But now, well, even the first time I tried getting into her phone the password was changed and she wouldn't tell me it even after our previous fight about her ex. This should have been the breaking point. How do I even trust someone like this again? Sure enough, I do more digging. I know this sounds really bad on my part too, so I know both of us are the assholes at this point, but I am only doing this to get answers. I found out that when she went out of town for her job training, her ex booked a hotel and sent her the confirmation number for the nights she was in that area for the job training. I brought this up to her and she claims she told him no, and she stayed at the hotel that was booked from her job. But I remember specifically that she told me that this one other person was supposed to go down with and they were going to carpool, but as she is driving down there she called me and said that her co-worker dropped out and didn't need the training anyway. But since this is growing longer and longer the more I think about this, long story short, I caught her 2 more times talking to her ex on different platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Tumblr, list goes on, and maybe I didn't even find them all. There is way too much evidence I brought up to her and she either denies it and makes up some story about how it wasn't about her ex, or she just gets mad and does not want to talk about it. So me being the fool that I am, I was devastated that the person I thought was the love of my life would do something like this to me. She kept apologizing and gave me some story about how she wanted to get back at him from high school or something, but we had been together for almost 10 years, so I did not get why it mattered anymore. But looking back, I just wanted it to go back to normal. I tried to move on, but I kept having nightmares and waking up in the middle of the night with panic and dread. At first she told me to talk to her about these things, but after a few times of this happening she became annoyed and didn't want to deal with it anymore. So basically I just start to numb myself with alcohol and other substances for a while, but still living in constant fear that someday my world and my life would fall apart when she leaves me for this other guy, because in my mind, she did this to me 3 times. What's stopping her from doing this to me again? Fast forward a year and we are still having issues, and they spring up at exactly this time of year again when it all happened. She is getting fed up with the fighting about it, stating that she can't deal with this anymore. It's either move on or not at this point. I did my best to move on, but then we find out she's pregnant and she said it was mine, and it does look like me, so I am not doubting it. I started playing a game online because of all the late night diaper changes and stuff. If I could not fall back asleep I would play this game. Made some online friends and sometimes we talk a bit in the game and I end up laughing and stuff from things they say. My wife can't handle it because I will be talking on the game instead of actually doing anything in the game, but because I made some online friends. She is getting sick of me talking with these people because it takes time away from her and the baby, she says. I understand that, but I don't play the game when I am watching the baby. I do chores around the house, so I don't just play the game all day. It is just a stress reliever and something that takes my mind off reality for a while. So I end up making a friend F32 from another country. We ended up talking to each other outside of the game. First it was just friendship that just started with the usual joking, teasing and video game talk. But lately has progressed to more flirty messages and we exchange selfies, talk on the phone and just pretty basic stuff to get to know each other more. But I am finding myself happier now. She gives me hope and I am not sure how to describe this correctly, but when you have been pushed around and feel broken, finding someone like this, that can bring a ray of sunshine and really puts everything in perspective. And I don't expect anything from this relationship since we both do live in different countries, but it is just giving me the realization that maybe I am not in a good place in my life. How I need to make some changes, maybe focus more on myself for now and take a break. But I feel like the ashole now that I am basically doing the same thing to my wife that she was doing to me. I am just at the crossroads of deciding on what I want to do with my life. Try to make this work for my kid or pursue happiness. TLDR, wife cheated on me with an ex, after finding out the first time. It happened 2 more times, tried to work things out. I start self-medicating with alcohol and drugs and wife gets pregnant. Fast forward 1 year after a birth of my kid. Now I have met someone online from a different country, unintentionally started to develop feelings for her, and am pretty much doing the same thing my wife did to me. Now I don't know if I should separate from my wife and focus on my own happiness. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, geez. Your marriage is a shitstorm. You should have divorced after she cheated. Maybe time for you to go your separate ways and share 50-50 custody. Because clearly you two are not very good together and that's no good for baby. Op answer, yeah, wasn't always this way, but it all started happening when I started traveling a lot for my job. Been trying to repair it to what it was, but it's hard to do when the trust is broken. We used to help each other a lot, motivated each other through college and finding jobs in our fields. It just went to shit somewhere down the line. Redditor 2, break up. Redditor 3, good lord. First of all, get a DNA test done on the baby to determine paternity. How and why you haven't already done so is beyond me. Second of all, file for divorce after the DNA test comes in immediately. Redditor 4, dude, the marriage is dead. Been dead. How long are you two going to beat a dead horse? Staying in a marriage for a kid is not good for anyone. Just split and do your thing. Redditor 5, having the child is the opposite of what you should have done after being crushed by disrespect multiple times. You guys should really separate.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.